I was born in Japan, 1948. Japan wasn't even a Japan, it was occupied Japan, occupied by American forces. I finished my college education in Japan, and then I moved to United States. And then 1974, I finished my college education in California, so I decided to move to New York. After arriving in New York, I started looking around the galleries and museums, and I found it's very interesting, the minimalism and conceptual movement. So I decided to apply my photographic technique to be adapted to a contemporary art world. The first series was a diorama. I went to a museum of natural history and took a picture, looked like nature, but it's a fake nature. That's how I started.
Why did you want to start the show with Pope?
Well, because as my first serious Italian show here, so I want Pope to welcome people here.
So you went to Episcopalian school?
Yes, right.
Oh, really?
Junior high school and university.
But you're not Episcopalian.
In university, I studied Marxist economics. Christian school became a center of Marxist study.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's very strange and interesting.
Here in the center of the Villa Manin, you know, with the historical connection.
He was a 16th century British monarchy. So, and then this Villa Manin started from 16th century. We have already more than 400 years history here. So let's make people think what's the time is, what the history is, and then including art history as well.
History and time is constant relationship. No, well, history is part of time, but history, time, photography, they are these three things, three
different medium together. Something thinking about the time is more like a job of a philosopher maybe, or scientist, or mathematicians, or physicians. But why not use the art to make people think about the time? And then photography is the best medium to make people think what the time is. And as a history, the photography is a rather young medium, only 170 some years. And then before the invention of photography, the painter was taking a job and to make a historical portrait as sample. So, well, Henry VIII's famous portrait was painted by Holbein, young.
So the relationship in this case is really related to painting, using photography, but you put it at another level. It becomes ambiguous.
Ambiguous figure.
Figure, you know, how you frame it, how you put it.
Right. And then I think the Holbein Young was the one of the best portrait painters at that time. Is they always exaggerate. You know, probably the King Henry VIII doesn't look this great as he was. My job was to study the Holbein's painting very well, and then also study the writing condition of the painter's writing condition onto the Henry VIII. And then let's imitate the painting to make it into a photography again. So there was a historical Henry VIII. He was painted, and then he was made as a wax figure by the wax portrait artist. And so then I photographed the wax portrait.
You never photograph human beings?
Only the dead people. Except one or two exceptions, I did photograph Iliana Sonnabend.
Oh.
She's almost dead. But many people ask me to do a portrait.
You never accepted?
Well, only one condition. Yeah. You should be dead first, and then be waxed. Then I can take it.
You can take a picture.
Yeah.
This show in Villa Manin, we have all the dark photographs. Most of the room are with the natural light.
Yes.
Only few rooms you kept them.
Right, only downstairs with
So it's interesting the relationship, how the darkness of the picture and the natural light. Do you have particular thoughts about it, or?
So why not use the natural light?
Sometimes a lot of your pictures are done in natural darkness.
I do sometimes night seascapes, and then all my work is done in the darkroom job to make a print.
Do you believe the natural light damaged the photograph?
Not to my photographs. It's even make it look better.
Yeah, it changed it a little bit.
That's what I like. That's the sign of aging.
Aging, yeah.
And sign of the passage of the time. So nothing stay permanent.
So this work in the show is the last work that you did, and is the only one with light into the exhibition.
This is my new direction and new way of presentation. Everything was done in my darkroom.
Without a camera?
Without a camera.
So you go back to the origin of photography that look very much like the early photograph of the origin of the world.
Just a tiny bit of the electric sparks makes very organic shapes.
This look like very much those...
yes, light formation.
Light formation, no? So
it's related to probably some kind of shock or power or energy, is probably electric energy. Or static energy, something is, moving against each other, that's caused the tension. And the tension makes friction and then also electricity. It's charged, it's some kind of energy. So one night I had a vision of the movie theater series. Suppose I expose the entire movie story, then the screen should be overexposed and then becomes quite a bright white screen shining out from the screen. And the rest of the part, the interior of the theater, should be shown in a very dark circumstances. So next step is to make it happen. And then so I just made it happen.